with the producers, really the authors, the creators of the song that we're using for our virtual pilgrimage of the kingdom, 7 parables about the kingdom of Christ. My name is Kathleen Nichols, and we are here with Father John Klein and Jack Dardis, and the two of them, I think, are the main vocals for the song you'll be hearing during our virtual pilgrimage of the kingdom. And so welcome, you guys. And if you could just tell us, I already introduced your names, but who you are, where you are, and a little bit about the RC Music Collective and what you do with the collective.
Yes, greetings. We're phoning in here from Atlanta, Georgia. And so I do college ministry here in Atlanta, and Jack's a musician in Nashville. And so we've collaborated a couple years on the RC Music Collective, which is we're a collective or a group of young adult musicians and missionaries who have a desire to write music to help people encounter God more, encounter Jesus, and have a powerful encounter of his love. And then to also not be afraid to go out and be missionaries and to build his kingdom in the world.
Oh, nice. That's actually perfect with what our topic is this Lent for our virtual pilgrimage of the kingdom. Jack, so you're a musician in Nashville. How did you come across the RC Music Collective?
Well, I'm from Louisiana, so kind of in my working down there in worship ministry, I met a few of the members of the collective, and I'm kind of ever since. This is an awesome song because it's like I think this is the first song I actually worked on with the collective, so it's kind of like my introduction into working with them, and then after that there was a lot more collaboration throughout my music career.
Oh, really nice. That's really nice. I was really impressed with your voice. That's why I said I think you and Father John.
Thank you.
In the music video, it's the two of you who are the main vocals, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. Yes. Jack
So,
has all of our high, intense harmonies, and hopefully I have the more gritty, maybe down to earth voice. And this song is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of energy. Kingdom come, and so we're happy. We hope that it not only inspires but it motivates you. Kingdom is rallying around a king, Christ the King, and so we want it to have a lot of energy when the people of a kingdom, when the army of a king gathers around. It's kind of it's energetic, it's lively, it's joyful, it's gritty, it's celebratory. So
yes, well, actually, I see the guitar in the background, the electric guitar. And yeah, that was one of my questions. I wanted to ask about the lyrics, but also you just explained why you chose that musical style, because I mean, hey, and then just the with the electric guitar, really different than some of your other music. So I wanted to ask you, who else, before we get into this song, who else actually participates in the music collective?
Yes, we have a number of young adults. We have Colleen McKenna, who's another Nashville singer-songwriter, Sarah Carpenter, who is from Philadelphia, does a lot of youth ministry, and does a lot of our Regnum Christi missions up there. Jill Swallow, who's a Regnum Christi consecrated woman in Texas, and also Father Jaime Lorenzo, another legionary who is kind of the heart behind the collective, and also the video. He's a very talented videographer, and he's in Louisiana, but from the Philippines. So that's kind of our core team of musicians. Then we have different people who've collaborated with us in making some of our music as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So let's talk about the song itself. You alluded a bit to the lyrics. And so I don't know, Jack, if you participated in the writing of the song or the inspiration of the music, or if it was all from you, Father John. I know that you've always had the dream, at least I remember this a bit, to be a musician. And the Lord called you to the priesthood, and now he also has allowed you to do this. But what is it that inspired this particular song? And the lyrics themselves, because you make allusion to, or you actually refer directly to a number of biblical figures.
Yes, this song I had in mind this idea of the crowning of a king and sort of the joy and the dancing and the celebration of a victory, and then the king being crowned and everybody, lifting high a glass of beer or a drink, dancing on the tables, people dancing in the streets, like a celebration. And maybe I just come off of reading The Return of the King from Lord of the Rings. So I had in my mind, the Aragorn being crowned, king, and the celebration and the joy of Frodo and Sam destroying the ring, good conquering evil. If you read J.R.R. Tolkien's work, it's moving, the celebration and the longings and the hope, and are finally fulfilled as they see the kingdom of goodness conquering the darkness, and the surprise of that at the end, evil falls, and so what it's going to be like one day to celebrate the crowning of Christ the King, the joy, the celebration, the jubilation. And so the song is kind of recounting a little bit of the past fighters, or the past soldiers for the king, who have fought in battles long ago, who have led up to the great victory of Christ the King. So you have David, who in his courage going out and picking up the stones from the wadi, Judith, who is tremendously brave and goes and cuts the head of the general off, and Daniel in the lion's den, to Gideon with 300 men. Like, if you look and read the Old Testament, there's a lot of stories of war, of battle, of trust, where characters are trusting God with their lives, and they're risking their whole family, their whole nation being exterminated. They're going out and they're putting everything on the line, and God is delivering for them one after the other. He's being faithful. And then the joy and the jubilation as he delivers them over and over must have been tremendous, and the celebrations must have been great. And so we too will one day experience that as well, when Christ the King is crowned.
That's true. It's so true. And I'm trying to remember which verse you come in on, Jack, because I think, Father John, you begin. And when is it that you begin to sing? Do you sing about Gideon, or who do you sing about?
I Virgin's Heel line.
Oh, you do the last two.
Yeah.
So you do, what are those two verses?
Second half, if I remember. Yeah, that's when I sing. Well, actually,
tell us
this
about
song
those.
for me, and I think a lot of us in the collective, a lot of us individually, I mean, we're a bunch of like individual musicians who get together and make music together. But one thing that we're all super, super passionate about is spreading the gospel through music, which to a lot of us kind of looks the same. I mean, Father John does a lot of street missions. We like to go help with the street missions. A lot of us go and like help out with different communities, honestly, around the world, and like spread the gospel through leading worship. And so when I got to collaborate with this song, it was almost like I don't know, I mean, it's an anthem for missionaries, number one, It's just everyone's going to come to the beating of this drum. We're going to crown the king together. It's a beautiful missionary anthem, which Father John's great at writing. And particularly in these verses, it sings about the power of, God working through the individual, which is awesome. That verse, the virgin's heel upon his head, our ancient foe will soon be dead. It's how God works through an individual to do something much bigger than they're capable of themselves. I feel that too. Sorry, I'm rambling, but I feel that too with the collective when we're all singing together. It's like God is doing something much bigger with the group of us than he does through any one of us individual musicians. It's a really cool thing.
That's amazing. So actually, I was going to ask you about that, Jack, because when you might do street missions and you bring music in, I've had very little experience with street missions. I've done some during the Christmas season. And of course, that just moves everyone's hearts. But what is it about music that you think touches people and opens them up to the Lord?
I think it's joy and vulnerability. It's a powerful duo. You bring songs that are super joyful. When I play music live, I find that the best thing I can bring people is a smile and the truth. So when we play street missions, you're bringing people a happy song. We go Christmas caroling over Christmas, like in downtown, Atlanta, or in the suburbs. I'm not from Atlanta, so it's all kind of Atlanta to me. But like around Atlanta and the suburbs, and like we bring a smile, and then we also bring the truth, through the songs that we try to work in, some worship songs, but also we'll just work in the truth of our testimony that we've all been, touched by the Lord and we've all encountered him. Yeah, that's what they are for me.
That's awesome. And so I know that you decided to end the song speaking about Christ the King from the cross, actually, in a sense, right? I don't know what you wanted to transmit through that particular verse, although it's pretty clear, I think, especially as we make our way through Lent.
Yeah, you're talking about the second verse there, where it's as God as man upon the cross rose
That's right.
again, death you lost. So kind of
Yes.
recapturing this moment of Jesus isn't, yes, Jesus is meek and humble, but he's a warrior.
Yeah.
And so the Lord uh, outsmarts Satan, and he beats death, and he rises victorious. And even Israel calling the Lord God of hosts, right? Lord of armies. Like, what's the greatest thing we can think of is armies? So he's the God of armies, right?
Mhm.
And so recapturing Christ as warrior, Christ as king, Christ as soldier, his bravery, his valor. And so ultimately on the cross, he looks defeated, but it's actually his greatest victory. He outsmarts the enemy. And so
Yeah.
it kind of shows that it's through the cross and the resurrection, ultimately, that the kingdom comes and the enemy is defeated. And then my favorite part of the whole song, as it grows toward the end, you hear
Okay.
more and more voices come in,
Yeah.
and it gets
Oh,
really
nice.
exciting at the end with kind of a call,
Mhm.
come one and all, every land, everyone, pick up your feet and dance, the kingdom advance. Come brave and small, the king he calls, let your kingdom come, your kingdom come. So this idea of the whole world, the
Mhm.
big and the small, all the nations coming together.
Yeah.
And it's moving. What it's going to be like in heaven as all nations gather in the victory celebration of the return of the King,
Mhm.
where Jesus Christ comes back and reigns and begins the reign of goodness and truth, the defeat of the enemy, and
Mhm.
the jubilation, the joy that
Yeah.
one day we're going to get to heaven and we're going to dance.
That's
We're
true.
going to pick up our feet. We're going to dance. And you can imagine, even in the old days, uh, the old people getting out in the streets and
Yeah.
dancing when they knew that their kingdom had been saved. There's a
Yeah.
jubilation when something unexpected happens. You jump off your couch, you dance in your place. We've
Mhm.
seen it when your favorite team wins the Super Bowl or wins the World Cup. Like, people do the joy, they're overtaken by
Yeah.
joy, and they they whoop and they holler and they dance. And so this is the ultimate thing we're celebrating, is the king, Christ the King, being crowned. And so
Yeah.
what will that joy, that jubilation, that kind of joyful chaos,
Yeah.
what that will be like one day?
Well, I wanted to ask you about this actually, especially you, Jack, who does, you do music in Nashville. Have you ever considered, or do you think it would even be something that would transmit this message that you've been talking about if you made a version of the song which was more of an acoustic or just a cappella, or have you thought about doing that? Or what do you think the impact would be?
I think so far we haven't thought of doing that, but only because I think we haven't really released a lot of acoustic stuff in the recent past. All the stuff we've done has been really big, really awesome, really epic. Maybe, I don't know. That's a good point. Maybe it's time we did a little bit of acousticness, you know?
You could do several versions of the same song. It would
Yeah,
be amazing.
that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Well, let me ask you this, because what you were saying also, Father John, but directing myself actually to Jack, um, come one and all, there's something about music which, like with the collective, brings people in. And if you're doing like missions, it makes them vulnerable and open. Um, what is it in your own experience that you've seen how people have joined into this sort of this call to also be missionaries of the kingdom? Do you have any experience with that, where people are so touched that they also become, in a certain sense, missionaries or part of the soldiers of the kingdom?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll let Father John answer too. He has a lot of experiences, but music moves us, you know? It doesn't necessarily take a worship song or a church song. Like music, at least personally, music moves me. And it's hard when you go to a concert to like not be moved, when you see somebody singing their heart out to not be moved. And it's so beautiful when what inspires the person who's singing is the Lord, when you can approach somebody who's singing at the top of their lungs and who's um just providing such a strong testament
Yeah.
of of a person who's on fire, a person who's happy with what they're doing, and you go ask them, hey, what makes you so happy? It's like, oh, actually, Jesus. Like music's awesome, but what fuels the music? Jesus. And so at
That's
least
awesome.
in
Yeah,
my
that's so true.
experience, I've traveled a good bit, getting like trying to like lead worship in different countries and with different communities. And that's what I find to be the most uniting factor is like it's not always like, oh, we figured out how to translate good Father in Italian. It's like they really like this English song that has nothing to do with worship, but it gathers us all
Mhm.
together in joy and allows us to encounter the truth at the same time.
That's right.
Anyway,
It's
I'm a
that
ping
beating of the
ponger, Father
drum.
John.
Do you want to add some things then, Father?
Well, that was great. I think that music moves people and brings people
Mhm.
together. So there's something powerful about when you put music in the center of a community.
Mhm.
Um, Music is a way for a community to celebrate. I mean, you can think about sitting around the campfire and singing songs.
Mhm.
It really it's a great way to remember stories that have most good songs are stories that remind us of the meaning and the beauty of life.
Yeah.
There's something beautiful about singing together. It creates authentic community, good friendship, and ultimately, at the core and the most meaningful thing we can do together is to pray and to
Yeah.
lead our community and our community moments toward God. And so I think not only can music help us to celebrate the things we're celebrating in life, to mourn the things that are difficult, to motivate ourselves in times of trial, but music also can lead us all together to channel those things to God,
Yeah.
who really deserves our celebration, who's the one who really can help us in our tragedies and the ones who can give us grace in the midst of our struggles. So music has power to bring a community together, to motivate, to encourage, to bring hope. And so
Mhm. Well,
hopefully a song
you'll
like this can do that.
Well, y'all are like the new psalmists, the psalms that
Yeah.
brought so many people to praise the
Yeah.
Lord. And this particular virtual pilgrimage, like I said, we're focusing on seven of the parables of the kingdom in Matthew chapter 13. And so just trying to get into what the Lord is really saying when he's talking about the weeds and the wheats, when he's talking about the mustard seed, when he's talking about the fish that that's bringing in the good and the bad fish, the pearl of great price. What do these things mean? What's being hidden? The treasure in the ground. And so we're going to the places in the Holy Land. First of all, where
Mhm.
he pronounced these parables to his disciples and the followers. When he explained them to his closest disciples, we'll be starting in Galilee. We're going to different places where he would have done this, but in particular with the song, and this is what I think is so exciting. Each week we take one part of your song, and we just got back from filming actually in the exact place where David fought Goliath, and we were in the stream in the Valley of Elah, which is where this battle took place, where you can pick up 5 stones from the wadi, and it's very deep right now, actually. So it's really neat to do that. Where Judith, where they think the city was, where she went down, and then tricked Holofernes, the general, with her beauty and her wisdom and certainly her courage. And also the stream where Gideon, crossed, and the men were chosen to be part of his army. And then, of course, who's the other figure? Who am I missing? Oh, Daniel, of course, Daniel, before he was taken off to Babylon. So I think the virtual pilgrims who follow our pilgrimage this Lent will be able to see those places. And at least I've
That's
had in
awesome.
my mind this whole time, uh, the tune of the song, let your kingdom come. So I hope
Yeah.
that those who follow the pilgrimage will have that also in their hearts. But I would like to ask each one of you if you would like to give a message to our virtual pilgrims about how they can also fill their hearts with prayer, especially with such a powerful and punchy song, and also being able to virtually visit these places here in the Holy Land.
I guess my message is God is faithful and God is good and life is full of battles. Like, don't expect life to be easy. Jesus never promised that life would be easy, but he always promised that he would be with us. And if there's a mountain in front of us to climb, don't pray that the mountain be taken away. Pray that the Lord is with you and gives you the strength to climb that mountain or to fight that enemy. And by going to some of these places, you see where the great men and women who have gone before us have stepped out of their comfort zone, have trusted in God, and he's delivered for them. He has conquered. He has they have been victorious with him in their battles. And so it's gives us this energy and this confidence that in the battle I'm fighting right now, the Lord has been faithful in the past. He will be faithful to me, and he is here. And so do not be afraid. God is with you. And maybe he's inviting you, instead of maybe his way is not to take the battle away, but to give you the strength to fight it. So where are you trying to run away? Where's he leading you? And ask for courage to go there, and the confidence to know that he goes with you and he goes before you.
I love it. I love it. What about you, Jack? Maybe referring to Mary and Jesus, or I don't know. What would you like to leave with our virtual pilgrims?
I guess I would just say, allow yourself to be moved. One thing with us in the faith and with us as musicians a lot is that we get very used to doing very powerful things that mean a lot, and they can become banal really, really fast. And as you're walking on this virtual pilgrimage and experiencing the locations, very powerful events, and listening to music that moves your heart, allow yourself to be moved. Nobody ever would have grown closer to Jesus if they would have just kept him at a distance with a semi-professional relationship where we just shake hands and keep ourselves 6 feet apart. You have to let God into your heart and let him actually move you. So as y'all are walking down this virtual pilgrimage, as you're listening to this music, let him touch your heart. Let him move you. Don't be ashamed to be vulnerable with him.
I love it. I love it. That's great. In fact, I hope one day the RC Music Collective can come to the Holy Land and do some music here. It would be incredible. Or we could have a musician's pilgrimage. I know we've talked about this for years. It just, now that the war has ended and COVID is long gone, perhaps it will become a reality. We sure hope so.
Yeah, we're praying so. We'd love to.
Great. Well, we will make sure to have a link to this particular video also on YouTube so that everybody can follow that. And where else can they find your music?
You can find it anywhere music is streamed: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. You can type in Regnum Christi Music Collective, or if that's too much, RC Music Collective. You can type that into Google. You'll see how to spell the whole name of the group. But RC Music Collective or Regnum Christi Music Collective on Spotify. We're also on the Hallow app. If you can type in RC Music Collective on the Hallow app, you'll find that there too. So.
Really exciting. Well, thank you guys. And we look forward to your future projects. I hope you're going to be recording new music really soon. And thank you for everything that you do for us. And thanks for letting us use your music for this virtual pilgrimage. And we'll be praying for all of you guys and pray for all of us and the virtual pilgrims.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Thank you.
God bless you guys.
God bless.
From the Wadi deep, David put the giant to sleep, and Judith with her bravery brought the general to his knees. And Daniel in the lion's den, the bravest of the king's men. 300 strong, the trumpets played a victory song. One by one we'll come to the beating of your drum, till the whole world shouts, let your kingdom come throughout, let your kingdom come. down, for in his kingdom peace is found. Pick up your feet and dance around to celebrate our King is crowned. Oh, come and lay your weapons down, for in his kingdom peace is found. Pick up your feet and dance around to celebrate our King is crowned. One by one we'll come to the beating of your drum, till the whole world shouts, let your kingdom come throughout. Let your kingdom, let your kingdom. One by one we'll come to the beating of your drum, till the whole world shouts, let your kingdom come throughout. Let your kingdom, let your kingdom come. Come one and all, every land and everyone, pick up your feet and dance. See the kingdom advance. Come brave or small, for the King he calls. Let your kingdom come. One and all, every land and everyone, pick up your feet and dance. See the kingdom advance. Come brave or small, for the King he calls. Let your kingdom come.
If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and give it a thumbs up. It's an easy way for you to support our ministry and help us share the message of Jesus from Magdala in the Holy Land right to you in your home.